So today we have actually an activity, and this is a really simple activity that you can do at school or at home with really simple materials. It is a microgreen growing activity. So we're going to be growing microgreens, which you can see as an example right here. They're really just baby seedlings that we can eat. And so when we eat these, we're going to be eating the stem and leaf. Now the materials that you're going to need for this activity are a pie tin. This is just a disposable aluminum one, but you can use a standard metal pie tin or a glass pie tin that you have at home. Or if you don't have a pie tin, you could even use something like an egg carton or a Tupperware dish. Really just anything kind of shallow that you have lying around that you can fill with potting soil, which would be another important material for this activity. You just want enough potting soil to reach the top of whatever container you're using. You're also going to need some seeds. Now I know not everyone probably has a giant 1-pound bag of radish seed lying around, but you don't have to use radish seeds, and you don't need this many of them. You can use any vegetable that you would normally eat. You can eat a microgreen of. Just a packet of seeds will do fine. And you can find packets of seeds at most hardware stores and some grocery stores too. The last thing you're going to need is some way to water it. I like using a spray bottle, but if you're very careful, you could also use a watering can, or if you have a spray nozzle on your sink, that would work too. Once you have filled your container with soil, we are going to add our seeds. So since I've got this big bag, I'm just going to grab a small handful and kind of sprinkle them evenly over the top. Whoop. And sometimes you might accidentally drop a few too many in one spot, but that's okay because we can kind of just spread those out. And then you're going to want to pat it down. We don't want to push it down. We just want to do a nice, gentle pat. What that is going to do is help our seeds have more contact with the soil. It means they're going to absorb more water. They're going to grow faster, just like that. And once you have your seeds on there, get your spray bottle, and we're just going to give it a little bit of a spray. We don't want it to get super soaking wet, so it's really heavy and muddy. But for the very first water, we do want to be thorough. We want to make sure that they get a nice, good drink. And for future waterings, which you would want to water these about once a day, just a nice light spritz to keep them moistened will be plenty. And there you have it, a microgreen grow kit. Now you'll just want to set these in a sunny window or next to somewhere where they're going to get some light. They don't need a ton of light, just a little bit each day. And then after just a couple days, you're going to start seeing little tiny sprouts. And eventually they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're going to look like this. But it's going to take a little bit, so we've got to have a little bit of patience. But we don't just want to plant them and forget about them, right? We want to keep our eye on them. We want to make sure that they are doing all right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to make some observations in your science notebook.